welcome again to this 2026 Matchday -1 League Cup press conference ahead of the match between Orlando and Monterrey. We will start with Captain Robin Jansson from Orlando City.
Last couple of years, you've had a lot of experience in Leagues Cup. Last year, obviously, going into the third place game, getting all the way to that. How much does that experience from a lot of these players that are still with the team help in terms of these kind of competitions?
Oh, it's always good with experience. We know that, and then heading into this tournament, we know it's important. And the first game is very important to get a good start and then be up there and be in a good spot heading into the last two games. So tomorrow's games is super important, and I hope that we can bounce back and have a good game and enjoy with our fans with a win tomorrow.
Over here again.
During practice, I saw you that you have a good chemistry with Griezmann when it comes to like training, plays, jokes. Have he asked about the League Cup, the environment, the level? I mean, have you guys talked about this tournament?
No, we haven't talked too much about it. I think it's experience enough to know what's going on and all the competition he's been playing in before. So there will be no problems, and he's been coming in with a lot of good energy, good vibes. Also, his experience, everything he's bringing to this team, helping to glue this team together, and we continue working. Hopefully, we're gonna be better and better. And I think with the preseason we got here in the middle of the season, it helped us a lot because we were able to work more on Coach Martin's stuff that he wants to implement, and we have created something that I have, from my personal view, is like something good, and we have to continue to be better, and I think we will.
Robin, since the Leagues Cup has basically existed, every group stage game you guys have been able to play at home, how much of an impact is that when you have that home field advantage against these teams from Mexico?
No, of course, it's great to play at our stadium with our fans. It's amazing. So we have to take advantage of that, of course, and then take it from there.
We do have one person online with their hand raised, and if anyone else online wishes to ask a question, please go ahead and raise your hand. Si desean hacer una pregunta, por favor, en línea, levanta la mano. Martin O'Donnell, go ahead.
Hi, Robin. Martin O'Donnell for Bola VIP. Thank you for your time. What can you tell us about Antoine Griezmann's adaptation to the team and the first week with him on the team? Thank you.
Yeah, like I said before, he's been coming in with a lot of good energy, positive energy, good vibe, and also his quality that he brings from playing the game in Europe, World Cups and the Champions League. He has some really good experiences. So and mainly also a really good guy in the locker room to have around. Humble, always ready to do the work. So it's been a great addition to our team. So we're happy to have him, and hopefully we can continue and build together with him for the future.
Let's bring it back here.
Robin, you kind of mentioned Martin's adjustments since the break. Just from a defensive standpoint, two of the first three games out of the break you had shutouts. How much have you felt has kind of changed just in terms of defensive shape and setup going into games?
No, it's been quite a few changes, and we're still working on them to be even more solid. So everyone has been embracing the changes, both offensive and defensive. And that's something that we have to continue work on, and hopefully we can get this consistency that I was saying before here, and keep growing together. But I think that after the break we've been looking like another team, more solid together. Of course, the last game was not what we wanted it to end, but we still had the energy in the second half. We really went for it, and that's what we take with us. Of course, look back to some of the changes that happens in that game that we have to correct, and then then take it from there. But we continue working with high energy and good vibe, and we trust each other, and we trust what we're doing, and I think it will be a good future.
Let me go back online for one moment. Alberto Rangel. Alberto, adelante. Alberto, ¿nos escucha?
Sí. ¿Se oye?
Adelante, sí, porfa.
¿Todos? Gracias. ¿Qué tal? Daniel Rangel de 11 Diario Monterrey. Preguntarte sobre qué tanto conoces del equipo y cómo trabajar el partido, entendiendo que el técnico en turno del equipo tuvo un proceso en la MLS. Gracias.
How do you see the opponent Monterrey, and how do you approach the game knowing that the coach of the team did have some time in MLS and understands MLS?
No, we played him. I think he was in San Jose a couple of years ago. I mean, we going into the game mainly focus on ourselves, but then in the end of the day, you always get instructions, information about your opponents, which is good to have. So we know what they're good at, and where we maybe can expose them, which we hope for tomorrow. So it's gonna be an interesting game, and yeah, take it from there.
Okay. Last question for Robin right here.
Last year you guys were close on the League Cup final and to qualify for CONCACAF Champions. Regardless of how you start this season, after the preseason, in the middle of the season, you guys started very good. Is the main goal again to win the League Cup and put Orlando back in the international tournament?
Yes, of course, we have that in the back of our head. I mean, we're not going into this tournament just to play it out, you know. We want to win it like everyone else in the tournament wants to do. But as you're saying, being able to qualify for CONCACAF would be great and huge for the club. So we see this as a tournament where you have small amount of game to a trophy. So why don't take that chance?